right, Tragic episode number 8. Thank everybody. Big one time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, all the subscribers on YouTube, Spotify, all the platforms. We appreciate you guys. We're sorry we had you on a hiatus. My boy P and myself, we took like a quick little 1 month break, but we're back in full effect now with more stories. Like I said, Tragic podcast episode number 8. Today is a special one though, because we actually got 2 people. We got a twofer. Usually it's a one-on-one, but today I got the pleasure of having Henry and Burns, the brains behind Camabis, Cam Publishing, Cool Hand Cam Entertainment, and all these things.
Allinradio.com.
My favorite weed, my favorite music. Allinradio.com, you know what I'm saying? So pleasure to have you guys here, man. Please introduce yourself to the world, yo.
Yeah, I go by the name of Big Hand, but my friends call me Henry.
Yes, sir.
My friends call me Burns, but I'm known as Alberto legally. Yeah.
Yeah, damn, we giving out legal names, man. Shit.
It's all right. It's good.
Social 5552.
I thought this was a podcast. I didn't know it was camera stuff.
Oh, yeah, we got cameras too, bro, yeah. I need to start telling people that, because I've had a couple of girls, especially when some of the ladies come in, they'll be like unprepared.
Like, oh, man,
they're like,
yeah,
oh, fuck. And they got to go into the bathroom and get ready, you know?
Comes back out with hair.
Right.
I was like, wait, you were wearing a beanie for a reason.
Totally different wardrobe and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Congratulations, though.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys,
man.
bro. I appreciate it, man.
Episode number 8.
Episode number 8.
All right.
Yeah. So like I said,
do
man, we're building it, but it's happening though. You know what I'm saying? And we were just talking before we turned on the cameras and we started recording. We were just talking about the value of building your own thing and having your own operation going. And that's precisely why I brought you guys here today, because that's what you guys do. And I've had the pleasure of watching you guys build it for a couple of years now. Of course, you guys started before we all met. But
and you were a part of it too.
And I was a part of it too at All In Radio. You guys gave me a chance to do a weekly podcast there for a little while. I got a chance to rock with you guys on your first ever Camabis 420 celebration. Yep. So for the people who don't know exactly what Camabis and Cam Publishing, and for the people that will know very soon, one day it's coming. Let them know how you guys operate and what you guys' dreams and goals are for Camabis and Cool Hand Cam.
So Camabis, Cam Publishing, you know, Cool Hand Cam, All In Radio, it's all a representation of, you know, I guess you could say my brother, you know, Cam. His name was Camilo. He passed away 8 years ago. And, you know, everything that I've done since then has been to represent him. My brother's been in All In Radio, had All In Radio for a very, very long time. And we got together and we just started thinking of like the branding, you know, what do we love to do? The music. We love Herb. You know, what else? We love doing events. We love being at events, bringing all these artists.
Right.
And, you know, we started doing all that. I started in the promotion. Again, he was in the radio. You know, I brought an idea to him. We got the privilege to meet. I brought an idea to him about I want to do some booking some people coming to the Bay. You know, kind of like, I hate calling it a promoter, but I guess I was doing promotions.
I mean, we're all promoting our own shit to some extent. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, he hates when I call him and go, so you a promoter?
No. Why don't you like that term?
I don't know, because I just have this thing with the word promoters. when I look at certain promoters, I'm in the game for a different reason. When I see, to me, a promoter is, you like the fame, you want to get drunk, you want to, you know, it's not more of the business and the special and what we're trying to accomplish. You know, I'm not in there to like do a show and make we're trying to build relationships. Yeah. You know, if we're bringing an artist, we booked you, we paid you, but I want to be your friend when you leave.
Real talk. Because
we've realized that relationships is more valuable than money or anything like that.
No, absolutely, man. That's actually one of the things that I've always admired about you, Henry, is the fact that you do go out of your way to build strong relationships with people. You have a good energy about you, and that's why I respect the hustle, because a lot of times, one thing as a comic and as like an aspiring, you know, podcaster, and even being in radio, like these arenas where you have to perform, like where you have to deliver something, it's real easy to get discouraged, man, because shit gets bumpy, shit gets choppy, and a lot of people
get a lot of no's, huh, man?
You get a lot of no's, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people end up losing their enthusiasm. And I like to think that, you know, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And that's the one thing that I really see, not just from you, but from the whole operation, is that you guys seem to have like this state of mind where it's like, we're gonna get it done. We're always working on something. There's always something coming around the corner. Like, how do you keep that energy up? How do you keep that energy forward?
I mean, he's the most exciting
experience.
Experience. We're not young bucks. We're kind of seasoned. I've never worked for anybody since I was 18 years old. I've had my own businesses ever since. Henry runs his own business. We came together when we were both financially stable. I was kind of at the point where I'm a grandfather, new grandfather, and I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? I can probably just hand the keys over and just go retire and just go do my own thing right now.
Yeah.
And Henry came with this crazy spark about wanting to do
everything.
Yeah, I want to start my own weed company. I'm like, man, but Burner's already. I want to build my own tortillas. Right. We're gonna do our own tortillas. And my experience, I was around Burner when the cookie stuff started. I know a lot of people in the entertainment and music business, so I've been lucky enough to have been in many different aspects of music.
Right.
So I've learned, and I'm like a fly on the wall, and I absorb it all. So when he starts, he's my brother, so he starts pitching me these ideas. I'm like, relax. Right. I want to do this. Oh, I want to manage this artist. I'm like, whoa. And I've managed an artist, so I know the ups and downs to it. And I said, are you ready for it? Be careful what you wish for.
Right.
Because I can probably make these wishes come true, right?
It sounds like he knows exactly what you're talking about.
So and the craziness becomes, maybe I got brainwashed being around him so much, but the craziness started making sense. Like he was telling me about the story about his good friend Camilo and how that was, he wanted to make the rest of his life and all of his business ventures a tribute to that name.
Right.
And so the weed company came up with the whole, Camabis. I'm like, well, cannabis. I'm like, fuck, there's a play off of that.
Right.
There is a play. Cookies was lucky and they came up with a very unique, cool name and a great logo.
Yeah.
So I said, to hit lightning twice.
And great weed. They had great weed.
Phenomenal weed, yeah.
So we did some, our own little research studies, and we found out that it worked. A few, women, when we said cannabis, they're like, oh my God, cannabis. Some of the dudes are like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
So we rock with it. And then it's just a matter of putting your money where your mouth is.
So tell me about this dynamic that you guys have, though, because every time I see you guys, not only do you see it, but you feel it. And I think you kind of explained it pretty well right now. You have the experience under your belt, and then you have this enthusiasm. And that's always the way I would explain both of you guys to other people. You have one man who's calm, and it sounds like he's got the plays in his head. It feels like he's got all the playbook in his head. Yeah. And then you got Henry, who's a little more enthusiastic. He's a little more out there. Did you guys ever have any trouble at the beginning, like refusing that?
That's actually the craziest thing.
You know when you get those magnets and you flip them around, they do that. We're the opposite. You flip them around, they're like, pow!
Right.
Because the dynamic is felt in the room.
Right. Absolutely.
People are like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy looks like he's about to take over the world.
Right. Yeah.
Our money is good here.
Yeah.
And we've been in rooms where, people have been, going here, do whatever. And we're like, no, luckily financially, we've been on our own hype. That's part of what's made this whole roller coaster, because it is a roller coaster.
Right.
A fun roller coaster.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there who haven't had a chance who haven't picked up on it yet, Camabis, CAM, Cam Publishing, CAM, Cool Hand Cam Entertainment, CAM. You mentioned Camilo, who is your good friend who passed away. And that's part of the reason why I wanted you to come on here to talk about this tribute that you're paying to your friend Camilo, who passed away. And apparently this is an inspiration for a lot of the work that you're doing. Tell us about that whole experience and how you pulled inspiration from that.
So, about 11, 12 years ago, I had the privilege to meet this really cool dude. His name was Camilo Beltran. And from the get-go, we hit it off. We were brothers from the get. We spent almost every single day going crazy together. I was going through a different stage in my life. I had, certain things in my life I was going through crazy times like everybody does.
We all do.
And so was he.
Women
and
we're gonna boost that little part up on the volume.
and we were like exactly like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was the calm, collective one. I was the crazy one, and he was a hood motherfucker.
Right.
I don't know if we're allowed to curse.
Most definitely. Go for it. Say whatever you want.
He was a hood motherfucker from Frisco. And when we started kicking it, a light on both of us clicked, like, nah, brother, we gotta go do something different. And the man started just changing. We started changing. We've always worked. That's one thing that we've always had in our bloods is we're workaholics.
Right.
So we're gonna have a job.
The hustle is in you.
But it's what we do. What happens after that? How do we evolve? And it just clicked one time, and he started doing the greatest things, man. He started going to school, became an EMT. He was like 6 months away from being a firefighter.
Wow.
And he was at a club one night. I still got the texts, man. Calls me up, let's meet up at Bruno's in Frisco. And that was the last time I went out there, tried to break up a fight, and he got killed and he got shot.
Wow.
EMT dude, so.
But when that happened to him, he was just at the club kicking it?
Yeah, he was at the kid, was at a birthday party. A fight broke out outside between some friends. I used to call him the Salvadorian Hulk.
Okay.
But he was Salvadorian and Ukrainian.
Oh, okay.
He looked like a white boy, but you could tell he was Salvadorian. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big old white, but he was one of the coolest dudes. He was baddest kicks, baddest, he always took care of himself, and the people loved him. And when that happened, I just saw all these people, like, damn, people really fucked with him.
Right. And
that always stuck in my head. So that was in 2014 when he passed away, and in 2015, 2016, I made the decision. I was like, dude, I'm gonna keep that vibe going, that mentality of like, we can get bigger and bigger, and opened up Cool Hand Cam Entertainment, started booking artists. Like I said, I was in the promotion thing, keeping his name alive, and we just kept evolving. COVID hit, luckily. Well, they fucked up to say it that way.
I know, right? It's weird.
I'm sorry to say it that way.
I mean, it sucks when you try to be an optimist about things like COVID, because you end up saying shit like that. Like, well, luckily because of COVID, you know what I'm saying? So,
I came to him and I had this crazy ideas like, let's go here, here, and here, and let's try it out. And if it doesn't work, fuck it, we'll learn. Right. And luckily, it's been working, man. We've been blessed, and everything that we do, we feel there's an angel with us, man.
Right.
Honestly, we have had some no's, and it was like more of no's, like we didn't try. They said no because we didn't try. We didn't do what we do. Right. But almost every door has just opened or is left open, and come on, guys, come in here. I need to know what you two guys gotta say. You guys seem interesting. And then when they see me, because no lie, I've been told no my whole life. You're gonna be this or that, and now that we're older and we stand on our own 2 feet, my family's good, everybody, now we can stand on our 2 feet. It's like, I'm gonna go and be like, nah, fuck you, I'm gonna do it our way.
How has the response been from Camilo's family? Because I'm sure that they understand what you're doing with your journey. How has the response from his family and his friends been watching you pay tribute to him through your work?
His mom, man. His mom, she's been a huge support of ours, and that's the thing that we're blessed on. As long as she's always cool with it, everybody else. But luckily, everybody's been on our supporting it 100%. Our friends, everybody, because we're doing it in a tasteful way. I'm not out here, doing this and trying to get rich off of it.
Right. We're starting GoFundMes and all that.
We're not doing GoFundMe or nothing. Like, I'm breaking our back and we're bringing it because we believe it's like a tree. It's like a plant. We're feeding the seed. We're putting water in it. And once it grows, and it's gonna feed everybody. I
love to hear that. Obviously, it's very unfortunate what happened to your friend. But the reason I love to hear stuff like this is because it really just it really illustrates like the power of like when you have something that you really believe in and you have a motivation. In this case, your friend Camilo, his spirit seems to be like the motivation behind the company that you guys are building. I think it's such a powerful thing to have something like that, a great motivator, something that's intangible, something that you can't quantify, you can't put a price on it. It's just like it's a powerful force of nature. So I commend you on that, because you're definitely keeping his name alive. And like you said, you're not exploiting it or anything like that. You guys are doing something organized and powerful.
We're putting like stamps in the world, and especially now with the music thing with Cam Publishing, opening up a record label, managing artists, Showbanger, Joakim Mari, Los Racas, right? I'm pretty sure.
And the new singer,
Joakim Mari,
that's right. I saw her
we've
clips.
Been blessed with that, and it's just now it's even more with not only with our angel attached, but us. Right now we're Cams. Right. We're, what I'm saying? We're strong believers and so motivated on being special. We have greatness. We've been surrounded and blessed with greatness.
Absolutely.
And we want to be the spokesman of it, And
it's a good way where it's not his and it's not mine.
Right.
It's Cam's.
It's Cam's. I mean, that's
that kind of keeps the animosity. There is none. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that's what I was trying to. I'm trying to articulate, like the power of having something that's not tangible be the motivation. You guys have a person who's not here in the flesh with us, but he lives on through your work, and that's got to be a powerful thing that keeps you motivated at all times.
Keeps it honest in a sense.
It keeps it honest, you know.
Yeah. To be in all. I can't sit here and lie to you. I never knew Camilo.
Right.
But I see his passion for his friend's name.
Right.
What we're doing, Camilo very rarely comes up in our conversations, though. You know, unless it's a very emotional times, which we've had.
Yeah.
You know, we received funding for something and we were wishing for it the next day, and we're in tears the next day. We're like, oh, thank you, all this stuff.
Right.
But on our day-to-day, it's really the passion.
Absolutely.
It's that cliche. Find what you really love to do and do it.
And you won't have to work a day in your life.
Yeah, so our thing is not really, we don't wake up, and I'm sure he does, but I don't wake up and go, fuck, I'm going to do this for Camilo. I wake up because I'm like, damn, I got a record label, a radio station,
Absolutely,
and a Camabis company. I'm living life.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm doing the Benjamin Button because I'm getting older and I'm doing it at the wrong. I should have done this in my 20s.
The Quincy Jones thing. The Quincy Jones thing, to me, that means like he didn't hit his smashing $1 billion record until he was 49 years old.
Right. Instagram be killing the game when they get your friends can forward you different shit, right? That's all they do. They forward them. Like,
this dude sends me motivational videos almost every single day of my life.
Hey man, you know, I'm on a thread too. I'm on a thread with a bunch of my homies, and that's pretty much it's evolved into that. We're just sending each other like motivational videos. It's either really like hilarious shit, or it'll be something like real deep, you know. But I appreciate it though, because it is a way to kind of just like put a message out there to somebody, and it does kind of keep you in the right mind state. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at it, you're having a bad day, you're like, all right, cool. Life ain't that fucked up.
To me, it's more like every time, when most of them, when he sends it to me, it's more of a like, you're right. Fuck them all.
Yeah, right. Dude, so
we're going.
I want to go back to something that you said a little bit earlier, man, when you talked about having your share of no's. You've had no's directed at you. I mean, obviously in the world that you guys operate in, you have to try to get people to understand what you're doing and try to get them on board. Mm-hmm. Talk about the process that you started when you first started doing the music thing. What was the process like at the beginning when you got a no versus what it's like now?
I'm gonna give you the biggest story of your whole podcast career.
Go for it.
Latino, right?
Yeah, Mexican.
Right. So your fans are probably Latino as well.
Absolutely.
Also? All right. You guys heard of reggaeton, right?
Yeah.
The biggest no. This is the biggest no, and you guys are gonna laugh. Everybody's gonna fall on their fucking ass right now.
Okay.
This is the biggest no. I think it was 01 or 02. It was after 9/11. I had switched my career and I got into the radio because my father's in radio.
Yeah.
Or was. So I got into the sales part of it. But I had a direct access to important people on radio. I'd come to them and I said, listen, there's this new genre called reggaeton. This is Univision.
Yeah.
It's going to be big.
Univision.
It's going to be big.
Put some respect on that.
I have direct contact with these people. I know you don't know these people, but you know they're lined up. And I started name dropping. They don't know who, Don Omar. They don't know who these people are.
Right. And
they're like, no, we did study groups. That's not going to work.
Oh, study groups.
I said study groups. And I was like, and this was a no from the program director and the person who was the boss of the program director. So it wasn't even just the program director at the station. It was his boss, who was not Latin, by the way.
Right.
And that was the first no that I had ever gotten in my business career. Everything else, I was like 100%. I was so confident in selling and all that. So I turned around and went back, and I had a studio, and I started doing podcasts.
Right.
So it was 02, 03, though. This is before iPhones.
Right, yeah.
So
you're ahead of the game, man.
I was ahead of the game. I had a little bit of inside knowledge from the Sean Fannings and the Napster kids about what was going to happen with MP3s. And because I knew some of the Silicon Valley people, I knew what was going to evolve. So I kind of put my foundation in an online radio station.
Right.
Based off reggaeton. You guys think I succeeded? You're damn right I succeeded.
Right.
You're damn right I succeeded. All these millionaires, De La Ghetto, those are all personal friends of mine that we call. And it kind of links up to the story when Henry came to me and he says, God, I want to book this reggaeton duo called Joel and Randy.
Uh-huh. But
I'm like, bro.
Got him right here.
I called Joel. I called Joel. He goes, oh, Joey, well, yeah, we got a contract at some other club in Frisco. And I'm like, you know what? Nah. cancel that if they haven't given you the deposit, because I'm not a complete
That's exactly how it happened, bro.
That is the trip.
I go, cancel that because my boy is going to put you at the best club. And this is before the hurricane hit in Puerto Rico. So we had all this stuff. So Henry lived through the best part of promotion.
Right.
He had all of the no's that he could. Joel's not going to make it on the plane. Randy's not going to make it from Houston. We waited at the air. So all that big no led to us linking up, because it led me to put a foundation of an online radio station.
That's incredible, man. Has anybody at Univision ever reached out to you and been like, "Hey, dog, you were right when you
Oh my God, really? Ask yourself that question.
Bro, they don't have to listen. To this day, shouts out to.
We fucked up.
I give a shout out to this girl. Her name is Sandra Peña.
Yeah.
She's a program director in 96.3. She started off doing podcasts with me when she was at 94.9.
Right.
But the reggaeton stuff started with me and her and this Dominican dude from New York.
Wow.
All three of us were like, wait, this is going to be some hot shit. Let's just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And I had the Dominican kid with his New York swag and Sandra with her foundation in radio. And we were doing air checks for 94.9 and Jazzy. I mean, this is a way back then because Univision said no.
Wow.
So we progressed and we started bringing reggaeton acts on our own dime, my own dime, and taking them to 94.9 before the shows. Because 94.9 was receptive. They saw what was happening.
Yeah.
This is when Reggaeton Latino and Nori started about to pop.
Yeah.
So it was crossing over.
Fucking Don Francisco put the kibosh on reggaeton 20 years ago. That's crazy, bro. And that's crazy. It's incredible that like you get to tell that story, you know. And now reggaeton is like worldwide.
I crack up. I laugh about it because
that is incredible.
Like, yeah, and it's movies. We're gonna have all this documented because it's a movie, and the movie we're probably just in the halfway part.
Yeah.
I was in an elevator in Hollywood with the program director of Univision for a reggaeton conference. All of the record label dudes were around me, you know, telling me, "Oh, this is our Bay Area guy." Mind you, they don't know who this guy is next to me, who's the program director. So that was my "I told you so" moment.
Right.
I didn't have to say anything though.
They didn't have to say anything.
Nothing.
It spoke for itself.
Yeah.
Man. So to anybody out there who's like thinking about, you know, saying no to somebody who's got a fucking vision, better think twice.
Well, but
Don't
you know
make the same
what the
mistake.
saying is right now on the Instagram feeds, you all see it. The no's, nobody's gonna understand your vision.
Right.
If they do, it's not that good of a vision.
That's a good point.
You know, nobody's gonna get your vision unless you hit some kind of dynamic, and if you do that, then the world is unstoppable.
And I think that's what's helped us out a lot in the game, and how fast we've escalated in the game is they're believers.
Yeah.
They hear the story, they come, you know, to our offices, they see, you know, our portfolios, they see how our artists and how the people around us are treated and feel.
Absolutely.
They're believers because we're family. My God, like we're not employees, we're not, you know, business. This is my brother.
Right.
This is my, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be rich together and we're gonna eat shit together.
Yeah.
Because we're believers. We can't change our thoughts, and that's when what's helped us out a lot with our audience now.
Do you think that the lack of that mentality is the number one problem for people when they don't attain their goals, when they don't reach their goals? Is it that not having that mentality that holds a lot of us back?
No, honestly, it's more, to me, the way that I look at it more, it's a team. We hold each other accountable, and when I'm not feeling it, my boy's there.
Right.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, it's solo is hard.
Yeah,
Solo is hard,
bro.
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you guys. I had some great success by myself, but right now I'm doing the Benjamin Button. I'm having the most success I've ever had because I know on the day that I'm off, I got somebody else holding up the fort.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, we are a tag team, but we have other people with us.
Right.
That we're confident enough, especially now, is like, run, you're in.
Right.
Tag, you're in, because, you know, we have to go do this, go do that, or just we're not in that mindset. And it's okay to say that. Dude, today is not the, you know, we're dreaming, we're big, but it's the next day, be like, got that out of my system.
Or you have those days where or you have those moments, very rare, where we're both feeling lazy and we get those texts, you want to go? Oh, do you want to go? Do you want to go? But what are we going to do? Fuck it. We don't.
Waiting for somebody to be like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, we're not going. Oh, you're not. Oh, all right.
Usually him.
So I, you know, we're talking about these motivational videos that we see on Instagram and stuff, and you know, now everybody's like exposed to them. And I saw a meme the other day that said that, you know, it's not about motivation. It's about discipline.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be motivated every single day, but if you learn how to be disciplined, you can always get shit done.
I think discipline's probably a wrong word because then people are like, man, I got discipline. I think it's habit. Let's be real. The humans are the most habitual motherfuckers in the world.
Absolutely.
If you build a habit, good or bad, you will repeat that fucking habit.
Yeah.
Build a fucking good habit. Get up at a right time every fucking morning. Have an office to come to every fucking day. You build that habit, good shit will happen. Fuck, if you do the bad, I have these conversations with my daughter. If you do something bad and you nature that, that's what's gonna happen.
How do you break a bad habit? Because I can name 5 of mine that I'm like, fuck, I really need to stop this shit. How do you break? We know how you build a bad habit. Because honestly, bad habits are fun most of the time. That's why people do them. You know.
You know what?
How do you break a bad habit?
I use the reward system. What's your bad habit? I mean, I don't want to put you out.
Nah, shit, I love to go out and fucking get drunk and just come home late and just be all fucking crazy.
I jerk off right before I leave. I gotta stop that.
We like to smoke weed.
Yeah.
I smoke blunts.
Yeah.
I don't light a blunt unless I've succeeded some business tasks.
That is beautiful. He said that.
In my head, I look forward to the blunt, so I'm like, fuck, let me send this email out. And I'm on one. Let me edit this video. 3 hours have passed by, and that blunt's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And it's satisfying.
Listen,
it's a mind fuck.
That's real.
To break a habit, there is no way. It's it's within the person. You want to be special? Do you want to be just whatever, another statistic, or do you want to just be nothing? It's all on the person to break a habit or a cycle, whatever. But it's hard to explain this, bro. We have a vision. Absolutely. I have this thing where I actually say this to everybody when now they understand the vision is like, I'm from the future. I'm here from 2025. I'm already in the promised land. I just came back to make sure that we get there right, and actually might save some money.
Some Terminator shit.
Might save some money.
Yeah,
and might get there a little quicker, just a little quicker.
Yeah,
it's just we have to do it this way, you know. And my brother's with me along.
Yeah,
he's from the future too, I guess you could say. But you know, we make a great team, and we've been blessed, man. Like we have great artists around us. You know, we been taking care of our own.
Absolutely,
you know, haven't been able to go to Empire and tell Gazi, go ahead, Gazi, give me that.
Yeah, and you know that was that. I'm glad you mentioned Empire again because like I wanted to just salute because I'm sure you guys got this a lot when you guys first hooked up with Empire. I want to say, what was that? A year ago or less than a year ago?
Yeah.
I mean that
going a year in March.
I'm gonna be nice. I've been connected with Empire for a long.
You've been connected with Empire, okay?
Yeah.
So how did that? I mean, with the whole world seeing that Camabis and Cam Publishing is connected with Empire, did that have what type of effect did that have on the whole operation?
It was obvious that was the tactic. I spoke of the meeting that I had with Gazi when we did the deal that we did. Was I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows I'm here. Because I appreciate what he did. Yeah, people don't understand. He could have took that label anywhere. Would have been more beneficial to him to go to L.A. or something.
Right.
He kept it in San Francisco.
Kept it in Frisco, yeah.
In the heart of San Francisco.
That's real, man. And you hear people talk about Empire all over the world.
One of the hottest songs in the world, Peru, with Ed Sheeran and the other artists from Empire. They recorded it there at the studio. I mean, so it's like one of the biggest things. So that kind of it was a tactic on our part.
Right.
We could have done anything. Either way, it's not like not like we cut a check and we took money from them either because we were doing this independently.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're completely independent. But I'm not a dumbass. I know how to utilize the resources that Empire has, which are endless.
Yeah.
And the people over there are great at what they do.
And it's relationships. Honestly, off of Empire, what we've really grown is these artists. We're surrounded by multi-millionaire artists.
Right.
And they fuck with us. Tough, especially with our artists, with Showbanger now they know that we have Los Rockers on board. Once they hear Joe Kid Mari, it's a relationship thing. And
it was a navigation thing. Like I said, part of the original conversation with Gazi was this was a couple years ago, was a real candid because we've been friends for a very, very long time. And it's like, listen, I'm going to Africa and I'm into other ventures. I'm like, well, God damn it, leave and let me take care of this.
All right.
And he was like, there you go. Take care of what you need to take care of. Do what you do. Here's the keys to the studio. You bring the artists when you guys got to do your stuff. And we all good.
Part of the thing that I respect about the Cam Publishing operation, about the whole thing that you guys got going, is what you just mentioned right now about how you guys are independent.
Yeah.
Tell me what it feels like to be successful in an independent lane. A lot of people talk about building something, starting a company, starting some sort of operation. But I don't think that they understand, you know, the freedom that you get or the sensation that you feel to be working for yourself versus working for somebody else. Explain that for the people who don't know.
It's the classic double-edged sword, though.
Okay, right. Go for it.
So wait, before you give them that bad news, you know, should I say that? That's my what I was gonna say, because it's more of the rewarding. The biggest thing that I feel that the independent that I've found more rewarding is the trust.
Yes.
See, they trust you when you have a Sony Capitol Records or something like that. But when you're independent, they trust you and what they're talking about music, you know, their ear, their artists, how they're moving and everything. That's the rewarding in the independent field.
Right.
To me, the other bad part is it's all a cost, baby.
Of course, yeah.
It's all an expense. It's all, especially how we are, you know, we have this mentality where ain't no motherfucker gonna come tell us what we can do, how we can do, when we can drop a song, what video we can do, none of that, because everything is us.
Yeah.
It's our bread and butter. It's our vision. And, you know, and it's 1,000,000% financed by both of us. You know, it's just,
so you were talking about the double-edged sword. I want to hear the other side of the sword, because this part I could totally imagine that the good part.
It's let's go back to the Instagram memes. You seen what's the classic one? It's like, man, I wanted to quit my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And now I got my own, and now I work 24 hours a day.
Right.
Well, okay, there you go. And what do? My classic saying to everybody is, be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Make sure you understand what it entails.
Yes.
I never imagined.
You want to own a record label? You're going to have to run with this budget stuff. You're going to have people from everywhere bitching at you. You're going to have some great successes. You're going to have probably more no successes than the things you celebrate.
Absolutely.
The biggest thing for me is time.
Yeah.
Time. I never knew how valuable time was, because every single day is numbered for us. You know, we are scheduled.
Yeah, but then you get the other thing, double-edged sword. Be patient.
Right.
It takes time. When you're independent, you don't have all that time. When you're on a major, you can, okay, let me just chill for a minute.
Yeah.
We don't have that time, but we have to make the time.
But you know, maybe it's a triple-edged sword, I guess, or you flip it back to the other side, because I found out in my journey and in my career that sometimes it's better to not be comfortable, because when you get comfortable, then you get complacent. And for me, I always say comfort is a trap. And I firmly believe that. So I always try to do things that make me a little bit uncomfortable. And
it's like quicksand. Comfort is like slow quicksand, because it's like you don't even feel like you're going down, but you're like doing the same shit. You're like, okay, cool. The minute something changes, it turns into quicksand, and you're like, too late.
Yeah, you're like fucking waist deep.
Right.
And now you realize.
Well, for us, and we know this. We've already come to terms with this numerous times. Is it'll never be good enough. It's a disease in our head that we can have $1 million in the bank. We can have $5 million in the bank, $10 million in the bank. We have 50 cards. It'll never be good. We have seven businesses.
It's amazing if we reflect on some of the early conversations. I wish we had documentary people like with Kanye and shit like that.
Yeah,
right?
following you guys around.
Because we've had these conversations to where like, we got to spend $15,000 and we're sweating it hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, bro. What if we had $200,000 in the bank right now for the budget? Would we be sweating the 15? We're like, no. Well, fuck it. Let's act as if.
As if you got it, right?
Because why are we sweating it? We're supposed to have $2 million by the time we're done. Why are we tripping about $15,000 spent?
Yeah. Right. So it's the mental gymnastics that you got to do sometimes. That's
been my I don't know if you call my stress test.
Right.
You know, when we got to spend money. Because we've had the $20,000, video and the $2,000 video. Yeah. So when the $20,000 video, I'm like, wait a minute.
That $20,000, I'm gonna find you, motherfucker.
You owe me.
You dead.
The $20,000 video, we're like, yeah, but dude, if that song, the marketing budget was $70,000, which it should be, would we tripping? No, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
So talking about your guys' artists, tell me about like the success that you guys have had with who I think right now is probably the most noticeable artist is Showbanger.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about his rise. I mean, a lot of people around the Bay Area have heard his music even before he was with Camp Publishing. Yeah. But now it just seems like you guys are really elevating it.
It's movie. When we established Camabis as a
brand
cannabis strand. We're like, okay, well, the idea was we had, a marketing idea. We're not going to do what Cookies did because we're not burner.
Right.
Let's go find burners. Let's go find a whole bunch of artists that will endorse the product and give them deals and stuff. We had clothing, all that stuff. We have a radio station,
right?
An
Yeah,
online radio
station.
Mm-hmm. We have some of the hottest DJs in the Bay Area. Mind Motion being one of them.
Absolutely.
Who has an album out right now?
3.0. 3.0. That song with Baby Gas on that shit slaps, boy. Presidente.
Make sure y'all play
We're going to come back to that.
Hey, yeah, because I've been fucking with Baby Gas because I just love the lyricism, the music, the vibe, and now he's rocking with y'all, so it just makes it feel even like
we
more
knew it.
full circle.
We knew the whole sound was going to come to that full circle. So anyways, Showbanger is a guest on Mind Motion show. And he comes in with Clayton Williams, who's a famous producer out here. And we start talking with Showbanger. We know who Showbanger is. He's been around for 12 years, 13 years. Hit song with Sage Gemini, multiple hit songs with I Am Sue. Mm-hmm. He's had his own success a couple times. In our conversations, we realized that he never had any representations throughout his whole career.
Yeah.
He starts foaming at the mouth.
Right.
He's like, fuck the ambassador. Let's sign him as an artist and manage him. I'm like, wait, be careful what you wish for, because management comes with a lot of other shit. Is it money we're bringing to the table? Is it knowledge? What are we gonna do? So we had more encounters with him. We had family dinners with him and his kid, his baby mama, Henry's family, my family. We intertwined. We became family. Then we decided, all right, you need a team. You need a team. And he looked at us and says, I do need a team.
Okay.
Are you willing to kind of,
take
a step back from your 12 year of experience and let us guide what we feel you maybe didn't guide?
Right. For the
show
greater
his experience.
good.
He's experienced.
Yeah.
He was experienced in the Bay. He's had 30,000 attendance.
And he was
concerts.
Let's go back to the whole full circle thing. He was one of Empire's first signed artists direct.
Yep. Yes.
So it was a pet project of Gazi's personally. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
So it was all a blessing as we went along in the story.
The pieces were there. Unbeknownst to you guys, the pieces were already there.
Henry's foaming at the mouth at wanting to be in the music game. He wanted to be in the music game so bad, and he wanted to be an artist manager. Well, we didn't just go get a new artist and start from scratch. We got somebody who had some foundation, which makes it easier for us.
Right.
We just have to reignite the career.
Absolutely.
Right. And I even told Show, your dreads are longer now. You're better looking now. It's going to work now.
You look like that motherfucker from The Simpsons. What was his name? Sancho Bob? Was that
Sancho Bob,
That motherfucker. So Showy was fucked up. I love you, brother.
We start working together. We do a couple studio trips. I work with X-Rated, who's a legend out here in Sacramento and California. He has a studio out in Las Vegas. We went over there, worked with him. Finally had our meeting with Ghazi. It's hard man to get a hold of, but we cornered him for 15 minutes and he gave us an hour and a half.
Nice.
It was a good meeting.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Got his blessing. We don't have to bother him ever
Run,
again.
motherfucker, run.
and then we started working with Showbanger. And then the other thing was, okay, he's a good artist. Can he produce? Can he still at this level of the game? Can he? We're at a different stage of the game now. Everybody's making 50,000 songs a day, right? Uploaded to Spotify. So we started doing the vetting process of his artistry. He's a machine. Yeah, he's a god in the studio.
Yeah. And it just
he's Pac.
No, you feel the music resonates. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I admire like the fact that you guys had a vision, and I admire the fact that him as an artist who had already been in the game was willing to say, okay, I'm gonna put my trust in you.
I saw that in his eyes.
It wasn't easy.
I made sure because I didn't want to do it. I told him I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Where's the money? Where's the budget? Now, if there was an investor that had a big bag, I'm like, oh, let's go play.
Right.
We're putting our own money into his career. So I had to look him in his eyes and say, listen, you're going to really have to accept our guidance.
Right.
And he looked at me and he gave me this like, fuck, at this point in my career, I'm willing to accept it.
I'm happy to hear that, because a lot of times as a comic and as an artist, I mean, I know humility isn't always everybody's passion or everybody's forte. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people have to learn how to be humble. They say there's two types of people: those who are humble and those who will be humbled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you ain't already humble, give it some time. Yeah. It's gonna happen. And I admire the fact that the three of you guys were able to fuse together and have some humility in the mix so that you can develop something bigger and better in the future. Do you feel like that humility is still like a big role for you guys on a day-to-day basis as you continue to build the brand?
It always comes up in day-to-day. Yeah. It is a day. I mean, it's not always we were talking earlier before we started recording. Everybody sees the success.
Absolutely.
They don't see the bullshit.
They don't see the bullshit.
And it's a little different for us. The way that our relationship's been growing is because we're fucking madly in love with this idea.
Yeah.
With this, they could call it a dream. You know, and I have this thing that I was telling them yesterday. I was like, dude, I saw this thing. It was corny on TV, like the motivational stuff. And it says, he said, what is it? It's a dream until it's written down.
Right.
Now it's a goal. And you know what I'm saying? Like, this is our goal. We've written this down and just seeing everybody jive with it and believe in it and go fight with it. That's has been the rewarding part too, you know. Because
I'm a big fan of acronyms. Like the show T.R.A.G.I.C is actually an acronym. And one time I was super lit, but I was also like very depressed about my comedy and how it was going and shit because it wasn't going. You like nothing
tragic
was
career. What's the stand for?
No. Well, T.R.A.G.I.C is its own acronym, but I was fucking writing these acronyms like I was just hella high and I was just like writing these acronyms trying to figure shit out, right? And I wrote down wish, you know? And I came up with wish. Why isn't shit happening? Motherfuckers can't live off a wish. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually put your fucking foot into it. You have to you have to go and make the actual moves, you know?
What'd you do with that?
I fucking probably rolled some weed on it and threw it away.
What's up, Pete? Can we get some shirts, man?
Yeah. Wish. Why isn't shit happening?
Yeah,
you can't live off a wish. You know, you got to live off the action. You got to fucking the deeds.
And listen, we all go. This is what people have to understand, though. Nobody's perfect. We all do this shit.
Yeah.
And we look at, these guys got that. We all do. I wake up days where I'm like, fuck, caught up for like hours wishing.
Right.
wishing. I'm like, fuck, I'm still in bed. I didn't do shit. I've been wishing.
No wish is going to come true in the fucking sink in the sheets, man.
But you got to establish a habit. Get out of bed, start to move.
Absolutely.
Getting out of the house. What I've come to realize even at this stage of the game, with the success, balancing the success and trying to keep it up because it's easy to achieve, but to keep it is another thing.
Yeah.
Is getting out of the house and going to the studio is an energy change.
Absolutely.
And you have to do, and if you don't do that, the bag's not going to be coming.
No, not anytime soon.
The minute this dude and I step into that studio, that thing starts generating revenue.
Yeah.
Phones magically, whatever, start to ring, emails start to come in, and we're like, dude, and we start looking and we start cracking up.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're like, fuck, you know, and then it ignites the passion.
It's the energy. It's I believe I'm a big believer in energy, bro. You bring the right energy into a room, shit does start happening for you. You
Absolutely.
know, we're
count your blessings too.
Yeah, for reals. Count your blessings, and I'm gonna remember this. Don't be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because right now we're talking, like you just mentioned. Right now, people see the end result.
Hey, you want to be Joe Rogan?
Careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for, Rudy.
Fuck around and get canceled.
You heard it here from me first. Remember this.
We're gonna document this. We're
Episode
gonna make sure
8. Birds told me.
So I mean, you do got to be careful what you wish for. I'm with you 100% on that. I'm curious to hear from both of you guys though, how now that you guys have been on this journey for a while together, you guys are making shit happen, ups and downs, peaks and valleys and whatnot. How would you describe yourselves before this journey, and how would you describe yourselves after? In other words, what is it about you guys that has changed, if anything has changed? Just as individuals.
To me personally, on a corny level, you know,
Go for it.
It's more of a like, I really had, married dad, it was just, there was no real purpose. There was no real goal. There was no vision. There was no, like, I want to go touch space, or I want to go chill in the moon, or smoke a blunt in Mars,
Right.
Now is that changed, that specialness. We're I don't want to say established. We're workaholics.
Yeah.
Camp Pub is out there. Camabis is out there. All in radio, the #1 radio station. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just, that is having that purpose now, seeing my 16-year-old, 14-year-old, teenage, cool kids, saying like,
Right.
dude, big hand,
Right.
like, that's the guy's the coolest guy ever,
Yeah, because your guys, I would say that your work ethic precedes you. In other words, when I think of Camp Publishing, and when I think of both of you guys, I think about work.
Yeah.
Like, because I've seen you guys actually do the actual work, be in the studio, the time that we have spent with each other. I've seen you guys hustling and always talking about the brand and building it. I don't know if you're doing that on purpose or if it's just innately coming out of you, but
I consider it is work. Like, we spent 20 hours on Monday. We were there 19 hours, sitting there getting ready for the next step, and it is just more. It's not really work. We're living.
Absolutely.
I'm honestly having the most time. I'm 37 years old, my brother. I've lived more in the past 5 years of my life than I did the past 32 years before that. You know,
That's
I
incredible.
really understand what it is to be living a life because I grew up 5 blocks from here.
Right.
You know,
East Bay
trashy
kid.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So now that we're older and, you know, my brother, my best friend, he sees my dream. I see his dream.
Yeah.
And we out here banned for it. It's just, it's the most
So
rewarding.
for me, before I was in that quicksand.
Right.
I was comfortable. The station had been online for 10 years. It took 10 years to produce a positive revenue. I'm gonna say it again.
He looked right into the camera on that shit. It took 10 years to produce the
It took 10 years for me to make that online radio station leave money in my pocket.
Right.
We celebrated. It was 2019. 10 years.
Wow, man. A decade.
For that radio station to give me money. Before that, it was all money in.
Yeah.
Completely for, equipment, perception.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever.
I mean, you see this at op-ed. Perception is very important. It's the visuals that count.
Now the transition.
We're on the 73rd floor in San Francisco.
The transition that I gone through with my brother, with Henry, is confidence.
Absolutely.
So I was in quicksand. I've already achieved musical success. I got a check in the Latin world. I succeeded in reggaeton radio, and because of that, I was able to manage a Latin artist. Back then, Gazi was doing some mixing and mastering and pressing up these things called CDs that you put in cars and stuff.
For you millennials out there that don't know, CD.
Gazi was the only one in the Bay Area who had the machine that printed up 1,000 CDs with your silver and black label. So I was taking my Latin stuff to him and getting it printed from him.
Yeah.
And that's how we made our friendship back then. And I had him mix and master the music for me. And when all that was going on, I lived a life. We went to LA. We had limos pick us up. We were in the rooms with Daddy Yankees and Ewing Queens. We opened up for Ewing Queens, stuff like that. So I lived that part, the good and the bad. Paid for it, paid whatever. So when he came around, I was confident that we could achieve things. But coming through it again, for me, it's almost like a second round, but now with a partner now.
Yeah.
With a little bit more. Now I got an army now. I don't have one artist. I have 7. And they're just not nobody artists. They're like real artists.
You got a
Those
real
Rockets
fleet.
were,
Gifted.
Grammy nominated a few years ago. So now the confidence is at the rim of the pot.
Absolutely.
When I had my meeting with Gazi, it overflowed. He reassured everything that I was thinking. Everything. And this is one of the most important people in music right now. He's literally the Diddy of the West Coast.
Right.
As I start meeting more people in the music game, I start to realize I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Preach, brother.
Sometimes I hate to say it, sometimes I know more than I should. I like to be in rooms where, like they say, you don't know, people are smarter than you. I love those rooms.
Yeah.
I'm very rarely in those rooms, but sometimes when I'm in the rooms, at least with my peers, I'm like, oh shit, we're all right.
We'll speak on that, man, because I love the fact that you touched on that, because a lot of times I feel like as artists, as creators, we second guess ourselves quietly because we don't know if we're actually thinking or conjuring up something that's going to work. How would you guys advise somebody who has a vision?
I think he said the word a little bit ago is confidence. We thrive off of being in a room of every single person in there, richer than us, smarter than us, better looking than us. We thrive on that because when we go in there, we have this thing where like, nah, we the same as y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like we can really hold our ground.
Reassurance. I mean, you'd have to, expose your shit.
Yeah.
Like you make a song, put it out to the world.
Put it out there.
And, if people like it, people, you're gonna go fuck.
Yeah.
I did do a good song.
Purpose, and confidence. I honestly, I think those are 2 great words to describe what I see in your guys' operation, if I'm being 100% honest. And I'm glad that you guys shared that with us. So before I let you guys go, though, man, I want to thank you guys for being here. I know your guys' time is valuable, so I appreciate you guys taking some time to come chop it up with
Episode 8,
us.
though, I'm kind of like a little hurt that it's 8.
I know. I had to make sure it was all. I had to get the sarape and everything right before I could have you guys on here. But
have you seen the bar? he knows we're drunk. I'm drunk.
Thank you. That's why most of the bottles are empty. That's how you know. That's how you know how much time I spent up in here. But I always like to give my guests the final word, man. This is an opportunity for you guys to just either give a message to the world, just say something that's on your heart, or just speak about the brand some more and promote whatever you want. But this is an opportunity for my guests to just open up and just have the final word for the podcast. So if you want to start first, Burns, feel free, man.
Man, I'm gonna be cheesy as hell. You have one life. There's no doubting that. You're gonna die. We're all gonna die.
Real talk.
Zombies are coming.
Find something you love to do and do that. That's not something new. Just find something you love to do that. I know it's easier said than done, but life will be easier. And learn how to value what's valuable. I have conversations with people that have 7 times the amount of income that I have. But I look at them, I'm like, well, can you take tomorrow off?
Right.
There's 2027 at 9.
The amount of time, mind you, I have a daughter who's grown up and all that. I have a granddaughter now, 1 year old. So this is how I learned at 48. I'm not gonna lie, I'm 48.
Yeah.
I can literally drop everything I want and go see my granddaughter at the drop. I'm a billionaire.
Real talk.
You can't touch me.
That's wealth. That's wealth. That's real.
You learn that, you're gonna be happier.
Yeah, real talk, man. Henry?
Me personally is I just thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for the opportunity that they've given us, the trust. Camp Publishing right now is I feel is going to be one of the biggest, record labels or management company, whatever you want to call it, because we're curating.
Remember, legally, there's 2 different ones. There's the management and there's the label.
There's management and there's
we always learn it.
And I want it all. We want it all, and I feel that the team that we're building and what we're growing is just the family. We're so like, if you get around, you've been around, man. You see how everybody is. It's like, I don't give a fuck who you are, man. If you believe in us and you believe in the thing, you come pure hearted, we're gonna be special. And I'm very, very thankful of that. The Camabis is gonna be one of the most dopest elite brands because of the market that we're going with. I salute to Cookies, salute to Rents. I want there to be Camabis jar at Facebook, at Google. You know what I'm saying? At the police station, you can smoke it if you're a cop now. I think you get what I'm saying. Is just having that. allinradio.com. It's the pillar right now in the Bay Area. You go anywhere, any artist that you can speak of is that, and that's how I want to live. Is all that right there is created because of that, because of the family and those people. And we invite everybody, come pay attention to it. It's gonna be so dope. It's gonna be so dope. The culture that we're building and movement, and just thankful, man. And like he said, find something that you love and balls deep.
Yeah, real talk.
Balls deep.
All in.
If I showed you my phone, I know I put my phone on silent because he said, but if I pull out my phone right now, there's about 117 emails and we've been here maybe an hour.
Right.
All in. The moral of the story, the name of the station, because it was reggaeton, based originally was a Latin name. In 2009, when I changed it to All In Radio, it was literally a breaking point. Remember?
Oh, really?
I had not cut a profit.
Yeah.
I was a few years into it already. I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck this. I'm going to go do something else. I was listening to I forgot what song it was. Now a lot of them have it. And something, a verse came out, blah, 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 all in. I'm like, fuck. You know what? Let me just go all in.
Go all in.
And I'm like, no way. Go Daddy.
All In Radio.
Available.
Yeah, man. Fellas, I appreciate your time, man, and I appreciate the gems. You guys really dropped some gems. It's going to be a lot of stuff that the listeners are going to be rewinding.
What's our goal?
Hear all over
we got to do more than 10,000 views?
Yeah, 10,000. If you could beat, episode 1 got 10,000 views on it.
Who got 10,000?
Jay Rich.
We get more than 10,000.
Who?
Jay Rich.
Who's that?
He's the guy who's got the most views on the first episode of the Tragic Podcast. Henry Burns, the masterminds behind Camabis, Cam Publishing, All In Radio. I appreciate your time, fellas. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, keep doing your thing, brother.
Man.
Likewise.
We're so like, you know me, man. We're fans, brother. Keep doing your thing.
Hey,
man.
likewise, bro. Iron sharpens iron. I believe that.
Absolutely.
So I'm privileged to sit and talk to you guys, even if it is for an hour or whatever. It's always a pleasure. So I appreciate y'all. Everybody out there who's tuned in, thank you guys for tuning in. This is episode number 8 of the Tragic Podcast. Stay
Subscribe.
tuned. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for putting me up on there because I've been told that I need to say that more often.
Yo,
subscribe to shit.
You get paid a little bit more, like a couple cents more for the subscription.
Giving out game, man.
You write this down, P? We gotta write this shit down.
You don't even view this whole fucking subscribe.
Just subscribe. Hit the button, goddammit. Fellas, I appreciate you. The world out there who's listening, good night and good luck.
Smile, pick up your head. It's alright, it's gonna be okay. I know times have been so rough.